What's one thing you would change in the world?
How we eat, how we heal, how we learn, how we move, how we think.
At the Rockefeller Foundation, we believe big change starts with big bets. Bold, ambitious moves to tackle humanity's biggest challenges. By setting bold goals, seeking innovative solutions, forging unlikely partnerships, and measuring what matters. Big bets push past half steps and aim for transformational change. Change driven by urgency, grounded in hope, and made real by people. Today, you'll meet those people, builders and thinkers, grassroots leaders and global change makers. People like you who are placing bold bets on a more just and sustainable future. The future doesn't ask for permission. It asks for courage and the will to build what we haven't yet seen. Welcome to Big Bets Live, where ideas become action and belief becomes impact. What is your big bet?
Give it up! Hello. My name is Manoush Zomorodi. I am host of NPR's TED Radio Hour. I am so pleased to be your guide this afternoon. I am also a 2025 Rockefeller Bellagio resident, which is so exciting. Really pleased about that. We have so much to get through, you guys. It's going to be great. I am so thrilled that we were able to come together into this group at the convening center. How many of you, is it your first time that you've ever been to the convening center? Cool. How many of you actually work here at the convening center? Okay, a few of you there too. I'm going to get you talking to each other in just a minute. I want to make sure you all know that we do have a live stream going on right now. People just in the building, though, people who work for Rockefeller. But all the conversations we have today are going to be recorded. That's why we've got it all fancy up here. We're going to slice and dice them. We're going to put them on social media, make sure all of these ideas and big bets get out into the world. So Big Bets Live is where bold vision meets real world impact. And the idea is that this is not your typical annual report presentation. The idea is to bring you the real people who are doing the work with real stories, with real voices, and also to celebrate these incredible milestones of the work that they've been doing. 112 years of progress. The full 2024 Impact Report, by the way, came out yesterday. There will be copies available for you with a specialty cocktail. I mean, I love that. A copy with a cocktail. Rockefeller does it right. The name of it is called Delivering Results, the Power of Unlikely Partnerships. So I do want to take a sec for the people who've never been in here before. Let's just take a minute and talk to someone who does work here. Let's take one single minute. Now, let's start with a partnership right there. You guys can toast each other later. Okay, 1 minute, go, talk to each other, say something. Okay, thank you. Clearly, so much to talk about. Now you know someone to go get a cocktail with and a copy of the report afterwards. Over the next 90 minutes, though, here's what we're going to do first, right? We're going to hear from the innovators, from the collaborators, the change makers who are turning these ideas into action. They are often working in some of the most complex situations and against tremendous odds. And we want this to be fast-paced. We want it to be dynamic, but we also want it to be deeply human. That is why we are making sure the people doing the work are here with us. So what exactly is this Big Bets ethos? From what I understand, it reflects Raj Shah's belief that philanthropy should be bold, focused, and deeply disciplined. That it's about identifying game-changing ideas rooted in real expertise and then having the courage and commitment to follow through as long as possible. This is not about chasing headlines. This is about doing the big work to make change in climate, health, energy, food, with the kind of urgency and ambition that requires. My understanding is that he says, I'm going to quote you, Raj, "We're not here to admire the problem. We're here to solve it." And every story you hear today is grounded in that mindset. Each one reflects a novel solution, a unique partnership, and a method for tracking real-world outcomes, because these aren't just ideas, they are big bets on the future. So you're going to stick around afterwards, but let's get started. Without further ado, please welcome Raj Shah, president of the Rockefeller Foundation.
Thank you. Thanks so much. Thank you. Thank you, Manoush, and it's great to be with you. Welcome to the Rockefeller Foundation, and welcome to Big Bets Live. We've never done this before, so it's very exciting to have you all here. Actually, our foundation has, of course, been doing what we now call Big Bets. Back then, they called it scientific philanthropy for 112 years, and this is our 112th anniversary celebration. So thank you for sharing that moment with us. I also want to just say three quick things. The first is today is really about honoring you, change makers, people who are willing to struggle through the widespread belief that the problems we try to work on are just not solvable. And it would be easier just to turn and look the other way and say that's the way it is. You all, whether you're working on solar cookers in Africa or whether you're working on food as medicine here in the United States, whether you're working on efforts to address chronic disease in fundamentally different ways or protect our planet, and especially those who are most vulnerable from the unbelievable effects of climate change, you all are taking a different mindset. And so I'm thrilled that so many hands went up, and it was the first time you've been to the Rockefeller Foundation Convening Center. We want to get to know you. We want to work with you. Most importantly, we want to learn from you and have your sense of optimism and your can-do mindset infect our way of thinking and working. The second is I do want to say a quick comment about the moment we live in. You know, for those of us, myself included, that have worked on science-based public health, global efforts to address food security and malnutrition, and generally the global commitment that nation states and communities should help each other protect and lift up the most vulnerable amongst us. This is a tough moment. You know, in the United States, probably a 50-year trend has resulted in the reality that today, as a child in this country, if you're hopeful about your future, and your economic future in particular, that is the exception rather than the expectation. Around the world, we are systematically dismantling institutions and efforts to provide humanitarian support to those most in need, to feed the hungry, to care for the sick, and to stand by the most vulnerable. And so in that context, it would be easy to be angry or cynical or pessimistic. But it is precisely in those moments of crises that we're able to summon a different kind of spirit here, right? It's in that moment of crisis, people are willing to say, hey, maybe the status quo wasn't working so well and we can do things differently. People are willing to open their minds to new ideas, new solutions, new technologies, and even new partners and partnerships that might not have happened in our cozy, comfortable status quo. And so we're embracing the crisis with the spirit of optimism, with a desire to look to the horizon and do some of the things you will hear about. Reach 1 billion people who live in energy poverty with renewable energy solutions. Help 100 million kids get resilient school meals and do it in a way that improves food production systems across this planet. Address the fact that 9 million veterans in this country are often suffer from higher rates of chronic disease and all of the consequences of that, including food insecurity, and help them improve their diets and access to food as medicine to prevent the long-term consequences of those realities. We're taking that on at a moment when it might seem hard. But the truth is, I think you're here, we're going to learn from you. I think people are looking for hope, looking for optimism, and are going to be able to find it in the discussions that we sit through in this room today. So with that, the final thing I want to say is we did just release our impact report. I want to thank Liz Yee, who leads our programs and our efforts. Thank you, Liz. But Liz works with the team that helped produce that report. And I'm really proud to note that together with a constellation of partners around this planet, I see Sarah in the back, who is the lead author, I think, of this report, that we in fact had more than 500 million people served or lives improved in some way thanks to the efforts and initiatives of all of our partners working together in a big coalition of folks trying to make a difference. So in honor of those partners, in honor of you, we're just excited to have you with us today to get to know you a little bit better and to really imagine what in this moment of crisis can we do together to make real, lasting change. So with that, thank you. Thanks for being here and enjoy the program.